Welcome back, everyone, to All Sports Uncut, the wrestling segment of the show. More importantly, the Survivor Series review and recap. I'm your boy, the champ, the reigning, defending, undisputed, undefeated champ of this channel. And just like as we advertised, we got Chit back from Chit Training School. Chit, say hi to everyone.
You say you're the undefeated champion, but I'm the one wearing the big belt.
Yeah, you bought it. You pulled a Ted DiBiase. You couldn't win a title on your own, so you just spent your money and bought a belt. Chit, say hello to everyone.
But mine is still the bigger. What are you doing with this finger? You rode on my private plane here.
See, he's learning from Chit Training Academy not to take no lip from the CEO when he's trying to say hi to people.
He was on my plane to get here today.
Yeah, listen,
we just came back from Florida. You like the Thunderdome, right, Chit? It was nice being there.
No, see,
Vince was a nice guy, right?
See,
we were there tonight.
No, you were not with Chit. That was Chit's Chit. Chit has his own Chit. It's part of the Chit Training Academy. You weren't with the real Chit. You're with the small Chit. Dynamite drop in, Chit. Give me some. See?
You're right, you was a different one.
The school is really paying off. And then this guy at the end is the quote-unquote CEO of the company who can't even remember the full name of the show. Anyways, moving on. Let's start off with tonight's Survivor Series. Gentlemen, how do we feel about the evening?
It was actually a really good show tonight. This was probably one of the better shows they put on in a while. All the matches had a very good length of time. There were a lot of really good matches. There were some very interesting fallouts.
Yes, which we will get into.
Personally?
Yes, which we will get into.
But lucked out hard.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky and skilled, and that's part of being the champ, is recognizing when luck outweighs your skill. But anyways, yes, it was a good night. No BS endings. There was no storyline-driven endings involved, with the exception,
very surprised.
with maybe the exception of the women's Survivor Series match.
What about Roman?
Even that, I mean, we'll get to that match in a minute. That match was more of a establishing who is the main man for the next fiscal year coming around here, which we will get into.
Next fiscal year?
Fiscal. Okay. Not physical, not calendar. Fiscal. Okay. So the next 4 quarters of life. All right. Roman Reigns is officially the top cheesemo. He's bigger. He's badder. He's got bigger teeth than everyone else. But let's start off with the opening match of the evening, which was surprisingly the men's Survivor Series match.
Which I predicted correctly, where the Raw men's team swept up on the SmackDown team.
They did. I was actually surprised they made a clean sweep on Raw's end, especially leaving Jey Uso in there at the end, which, that pushed a little bit into that whole, family story, mumbo-jumbo gig, whatever the case may be. But really surprised it was a clean sweep. Really surprised AJ Styles' gigantic bodyguard. What was his name again?
Oh, Odin.
Odin? Great Odin's beard?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah. Anyways, the man's gigantic. I thought he was going to get involved in more of a physical manner. His only involvement was pulling AJ Styles out of the way. Ring. And then, Jey Uso got to put on a great performance. Normally, when you're the last sole survivor on your team, you get a chance to really showcase your stuff because they do have a plan for you going down the road. Much in case like when Dolph Ziggler was the sole survivor for Team Cena and took out Team Authority.
That's where I thought they probably were going to go with this, but they didn't, and it was very interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where the storyline now goes with Roman and Jey.
Yeah, but definitely evidence that they have a push in plan for Mr. Jey Uso when he comes back. But yeah, it was a great match, and it finished with Keith Lee catching Jey Uso in the air, doing what Keith Lee does, throwing him up off of his shoulders into the powerbomb position, hitting him with the Spirit Bomb.
Keith Lee is a big man.
Chit, how'd you feel about the match?
Boom.
I like
Boom. It. Hey, man of little words, but they are effective words nonetheless. Moving on, next match of the evening, we had, I believe it was the CEO of the Hurt Business, a real CEO versus the great liberator, Mr. Samuel Zayn.
You know, Bobby Lashley's a big fan of me.
That's debatable.
We were there. He says, CEO to CEO, I like you. I said, thanks, Bobby. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good luck tonight.
Most of the time, when a CEO says that to another CEO, they really hate them. They really have no life for them. So, anyways, and I mean, let's be real here. How can you be an efficient CEO? You don't even have your glasses with you. Did Neo finally come and get his sunglasses back?
No.
Did Keanu Reeves say, "Hey, listen, give me my sunglasses back
before
I go John Wick on you"?
CEO does what he feels like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the first night you were Colonel Sanders, the Southern Plantation Gentleman, Mr. Senior Candy, in there, and then the next night you were trying to be a cross of Neo and some smug dude with a shoehorn, shoved up where the sun don't shine, and now I don't even know what you are anymore. Like,
I'm
really,
the CEO.
No,
I do as I feel.
I
do as I do.
Not know.
I come in and I do as I want.
The champ really genuinely feels like you are a lost man trying to find who he really is, and you're trying to emulate the champ and Chit in all of our greatness with the belts, the glasses, and I think you're just not finding it yet.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes, what are you going to do? You're going to threaten the champ with not signing the champ's paycheck? Guess what? It's in the champ's contract. The champ signs his own paycheck, so it works out great for the
Actually,
champ.
I still sign him.
Anyways,
but no, I'm not going to threaten it.
Moving on.
If anything, I'll just sign you an extension so you have to be here longer.
You know what? You can't sign the champ to an extension because I'm on a lifetime ironclad contract. Unless we get Vance Mon enough where the champ can have 2 lifetimes, then I'll sign the second lifetime as well.
Good.
The champ will gladly do it because the champ has nothing more better to do that he loves more than just annoying the living dog tards out of you. Anyways, let's talk about Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. How'd you feel about the match?
Match was pretty good overall. I think the dynamic was better on the microphone than it was in the match, I feel. I think I wanted a little bit more out of Sami Zayn than I kind of got. He was playing more of the I just want to get out of the situation.
He's playing chicken shit heel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's playing, but that's what he's really good at. That's what he's fantastic at. Him and his Santa Claus Jr. beard, which is coming in very strong. But at the end of the day, he tried to pull some of his moves of running away, hiding, trying to get the Hurt Business to hit him so that way he can get win by via disqualification. And the Hurt Business held it together like the men that they are, and
coming out strong in their suits, by the way.
Coming out strong, MVP rocking just the vest,
but Cedric and Shelton
clean, all black with the gold tie, baby.
Good,
really good. Maybe next time they'll come out in all gold with a black tie. That'd be gangster.
Interesting.
Yes, so that'd be good. Moving on to the next match. By the way, Chit, what you think?
Solid.
Moving on to the next match, we had the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, versus the SmackDown Women's Champion, Miss Sasha Money in the Banks. A match that we both thought was going to end in a disqualification format, and we were both wrong. It ended clean with Sasha Banks coming over with the big W at the end.
And you know what? Sasha kind of really needed that win, too, to kind of solidify her title reign now, to maybe go on to that long title run.
Yeah, because, Asuka already had that big push as being Asuka, the one that no one could beat, the undefeatable one, everything. And then once she lost and they had her start losing a handful of matches, that allure, that luster went away. But she still is Asuka. There's no taking that away from her. Even as much as they try and shove Goldberg back into matches, and as horrible as they are, he's still Goldberg in our hearts, and we will always love him for that. But Asuka, it was a great showing. It was a great technical match. A lot of technical stuff going on. A lot of flips, reverses with all the pins, all that good stuff. And yeah, overall great match. No complaints about it. Chit, did you have any complaints?
Okay.
Moving on. Chit really liked Sasha's hair because it was almost a lovely shade of Dodger blue. Chit's a big Dodger fan, for those of you that don't know. So anyways, next match of the evening, we had the women's Survivor Series match. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown.
Now, did you notice as well? watching it here instead of live like I did, it took a while for a lot of those eliminations to come in.
Yeah, I mean, same with the men's Survivor Series match. It took a while, but once that first elimination happened, they just boom, 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 they rapid fired them. Same concept of this match. I mean, the first elimination was the first elimination again? It was Bailey, Karen. Karen was the first elimination of the evening by Miss Peyton Royce, and then shortly after that,
and it was very unbecoming to see Peyton Royce eliminate the former champion.
Yes. So that was interesting to see. And then shortly after that, I believe Peyton Royce was
eliminated.
The next one eliminated, and then they
let's really get down to
let's
get down to meat and potatoes here of the going back and forth between Nia Jax and the EST of WWE, Miss Bianca Belair.
Yes, so it came down. Bianca Belair was the sole survivor for Team SmackDown, having to go up against Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Lana, standing on the stairs for 90% of the match after she tagged herself in, and they told her not to. They put her on the stairs on timeout, told her to stay in her corner, and she did just that. And she put on a good show. I think this is going to be a big push coming up for Miss Bianca.
You really think it's going to be a push?
I'm
sorry, Bianca Belair. I thought you were going to say
no.
Lana
Like I said, when you're the sole survivor for the one team, and we're not going to. I mean, yes, Lana was technically the sole survivor. But really, Bianca Belair was the true sole survivor, putting on a fantastic show, showing off all of her athletic ability. She took out Shayna Baszler. She took out Nia Jax. Technically, she did take her out, so I think it's a good show. But the match did end with a double count out of Bianca Belair and Nia Jax. And with Bianca
Lana
Belair,
to get the win for Team.
Lana was the sole survivor, the one who everyone bags on for being in wrestling, the one who got put through 9 tables
and didn't go through a single table tonight.
I was very shocked. They set it up. I was really expecting her to go through that table.
But she didn't.
But she did not. But anyways, moving on, Lana was the sole survivor. Nia Jax, very, very angry. I would not doubt if we see Lana go through a table tomorrow night on Raw.
You mean tonight?
Yeah, tonight technically. Sorry, it's 1 a.m. here, folks. We got done a little late with the pay-per-view. All three of us, we did have other arrangements and obligations, so we were taking care of those before we got to this. But anyways, it was a great match. Little bit of a sour match for this one over here, thinking that he was going to clean sweep the show because WWE broke their normal standpoint of having opposite teams win from one another. In this type, both Raw teams won. Congratulations to Raw. But if you notice, SmackDown won all the championship matches tonight.
They did.
They did win well. By the way, I just want to touch on this really back. Seth Rollins' elimination in the men's match.
Yes.
For the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that make you feel?
It's telling me he's going to go on vacation.
He's going to be on vacay a little while, going daddy mode soon?
Yeah, daddy mode's coming.
Yeah, champ agrees.
He just came out of those pictures. He's going on vacation.
Yeah, it was for the greater good.
Yeah.
And he just dropped the L to Mr. Buddy McMurphin, so...
He's wrapped up his storylines. He's wrapped everything up.
Yeah, we'll probably see him in a good 4 or 5 months from now.
Probably WrestleMania time.
Yeah, we'll probably see him come around. Anyways, moving on to the main event of the evening. We had the WWE Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre versus the Universal Champion Mr. Romaine Lettuce Reigns and his gigantic teeth, and Paul Heyman. The dude's got chompers these days. It was a good match. Champ thought it was a great match.
It was a very good match. A little slow to start,
but you want that to build. I mean, if there was a live crowd there and that slow start, they would have been.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're going in an hour, 2.5, 2 hours and 45 minutes. I would want a little bit of a quicker start and then slow it down a little bit and then ramped it up. But yeah, I think it was played out very well overall. And the finish was a little bit of a wonky finish, but it ended up very good. Roman came out looking strong, and yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Champ really liked the beginning because there are 2 big men, and it was more of a test of strength in the beginning to really, get that true feel for one another. And then they really started to go. They started to get their stuff in. They both hit their finishers on each other a couple times, a couple reversals of them as well. I mean, Roman Reigns went for the spear, and Drew McIntyre caught it, rolled into the guillotine. Drew McIntyre went for a couple Claymore kicks that got hit, and then, Drew McIntyre finally hits Roman Reigns with a big Claymore kick, pushes the ref out of the ring, and as we all know, when the ref takes a bump, he dies. So he was completely incoherent. And then we see Mr. Jey Uso making his way out to the ring, coming in, super kicking him in the face, Mr. Drew McIntyre. And that proceeded to distract him enough so that way Roman Reigns could put the guillotine on when the second ref came down.
And it looked like he was going to get out of it. And then Roman just tightened it up a little bit. That was it.
And it was a very good finish in the essence of, it established that Roman Reigns, number one, is going to be the main guy for the coming year here. But it also didn't hurt Drew McIntyre's character because you did have that interference.
Correct.
That outside interference, which also plays back into the family role. So it kind of establishes Roman Reigns as more of the heel champion than Drew McIntyre. But it's still, they established the fact that Roman Reigns will be there without tarnishing or bringing down Drew McIntyre to achieve that.
It'll be really interesting to see how they play this out tomorrow, or tonight, I should say, on Raw with Drew and what they're going to do.
Yes, so we will see what happens there. But now, again, this was a pay-per-view, no storylines really truly driven through anything whatsoever.
It was just about what brand is better.
Yeah, and all the champions on SmackDown won the evening, but the Raw teams won, so the Raw has the better mid-card players, and right now they're establishing SmackDown. Actually, no. I stand corrected. SmackDown did not win them all because Bobby Lashley is on Raw with the U.S. title, so SmackDown almost won.
Yeah. Raw is the quote-unquote bigger show, bigger brand, so they won more, but the more significant titles were won. Oh, you forgot one match, by the way.
Oh, yes, we did forget a match. We forgot a very fantastic match. It's a little late. The champ's running low on his coffee fumes here. We had the tag match against the New Day.
Coming out in the Gears of War.
In the Gears of War exclusives for Gears of War 5, which there are playable characters in. Xavier Woods had the trombone with the chainsaw.
Which still worked.
Yes, attached to the end. And we got to see Mr. Big E rejoin his brethren for their entrance. He couldn't stay ringside for the match, obviously, but he got to show off his illustrious gear. Yes, they are going to be playable characters in Gears of War 5. Be very, very fun to see, but them versus the Street Profits was a fantastic
promo
match.
Montez Ford gave before the match was incredible. And you can really see now the torch being passed from the New Day to the Street Profits.
Yes, the Street Profits are definitely going to be the front runners of the tag team divisions for a very long time until they bring in more tag team talent to kind of fill in and bolster all those missing pieces there, So, but yes, it was a fantastic match. Probably the best match of the night.
I would say probably the
best match of the night.
Most entertaining
Great match. Sure. Yeah, and it's almost fitting that we saved it to cover last, even though we didn't, yes, we forgot to cover it when it actually happened. The best
well, let's talk about the big thing that happened, the big underlying story for the Survivor Series, the 30-year retirement of the dead man, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway.
Yes. A lot of people are probably going to hate on it. A lot of people are probably not going to like it, whatever the case may be. I thought it was very fitting of The Undertaker as his character. He's not a man of many words. Normally, if Undertaker cuts a promo, it's a handful of sentences, and he's done.
Yeah.
And, he came out. Yes, it would have been much nicer if there was an actual live audience there, if they did something with all the people who came out to honor The Undertaker. They did bring out a lot of people, a lot of big names, a lot of his friends, a lot of people he had great matches with. But at the end of the day, The Undertaker came out. We got to hear his massive dong one more time.
But before all that, let's not forget the CEO, the chairman of the board, Mr. Vince McMahon, really good friend of the CEOs as well. That's the reason why I was there live. Cried a little bit during this, but Vince gave out a very, very nice, very heartwarming, very professional thank you to The Undertaker.
And
something that we did not expect was going to happen.
Because he doesn't do it for anyone, which shows you how much The Undertaker means to Vince McMahon and how much the man Mark Calloway means to Vince McMahon. And so The Undertaker got to come out. He did his entrance one more time. And it was very cool to see it because we probably won't see it again for a very, 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 very long time unless he gets convinced to come back and do WrestleMania.
Or when they put him into the Hall.
Or when they put him into the Hall of Fame, which rightfully he should be headlining it next year. Mm-hmm. He put him at the end of the ring. He got elevated up on his platform. And he simply said, 30 long years, I'm going to finally let The Undertaker rest in peace. He got into the ring on one knee, did his little homage, and they did the virtual Paul Bearer, which was very, very cool, very, very nice.
Can we all just take 1 minute and do a quick chant of thank you, Taker?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Set. Thank you.
Taker.
Thank you.
Taker.
Thank you, Undertaker, for your
Thank you.
amazing 30 years.
Yes, 30
and
years.
Some of the most amazing memories I know I have as a wrestling fan.
Yes, 30 years of being the man, being the dead man, being the American badass, digging graves, taking souls, and just doing it right by the business.
Yep.
So, commemorative to you. Chit, how'd it make you feel?
Got a tear.
Groovy.
You made him feel groovy.
Even got a little tear coming out. Mm-hmm. It's okay, buddy.
It's okay. He hasn't completed his no crying class yet, so he gets a hall pass on this one. But anyways, overall Survivor Series for not being storyline driven in any facet, just being champion versus champion. By the way, there was not one time where Michael Cole said this is the one time a year where both brands collide for supremacy.
I know.
He said it every year for the last, I don't know how long. But he didn't say it this year. This is also the first year they didn't tally who had the most wins.
Yeah.
This was the first year it wasn't a competition amongst the brands on the whole show. It was just Survivor Series best of the best.
Yeah. Any final words, gentlemen?
Chit, any final words?
Pizza.
Pizza. Chit always coming in with dynamite ideas. You over there, Mr. I don't know what I am yet. What are your final thoughts, final words?
My final thoughts were it was an amazing show. Really well put together. The farewell to The Undertaker, like I said before, was incredible. I was happy that the CEO could be there in person and then had to fly back here to do this.
Yes. And Chance, final thoughts. Great pay-per-view, great show. Like I said, not storyline driven. I think it was one of the better ones they've had so far this year. Done very well. If anyone hates on it, then guess what? The champ is coming your way to debate the living debate out of you, because I will debate you to the grave that this was a phenomenal A+ pay-per-view show. You had literally the best of the best going at it, and it was a fantastic time. With that being said, that is all we have for you for this evening. Don't forget, this guy's going to be in Delaware. No one cares about that. The champ is going on the I Gotta Pee tour. He's running the Forrest Gump run. So you got until 4 p.m. tomorrow to place your tickets, because that's when the champ starts running. I'm running the exact path that Forrest Gump ran. And once the champ gets tired, he's going to go home. So if you want to run with the champ, if you want your path to cross paths with the champ, just watch Forrest Gump, trace out the map, and you'll find exactly where the champ's going to be. And on that note, gentlemen, should we call it evening? Get some pizza? Like
yeah,
Chip said? Okay. This guy's going to pay because he's apparently the CEO, so he can put it on the company's tab. Good night, people.